getting ready to sell my winter car, which is my green 2000 Cherokee, and she desperately needs a neutral safety switch because it doesn't want to start unless you fiddle with the trans. So I haven't been able to pull one at the junkyard, so my solution is this 2000 that I've had sitting and I got at the same time. It's a two-door, 4x4. Not sure I'm going to keep it or what I'm going to do with it, but I've just recently done a bunch of work to it. But it has a functioning safety switch, so we're going to pull it off this one. And we're going to slap it on the green one. And then get ready to sell it and get the money for the other projects. It's going to be hard to see, but where my finger's pointing, which is probably barely in focus, is the transmission controller. And it's going to be fun to get out and probably pretty hard to film, but I'm going to give it a shot. I cleaned it up a little bit, so if it's a little easier to see, I gotta take the nut above, the bolt above that nut off, and then loosen the fingers connecting that nut onto that shaft, and then I'm gonna have to hit it with a bunch of penetrating fluid and pop that nut free. Upper retaining nut off. Man, this thing is a long and tight bolt. Now we're gonna, which I've said probably 4 times now, we're gonna hose this area off, let it sit for a bit, and try to break it loose. If it is being a pain, we'll hit it with some penetrating oil. In case anyone was wondering, this is an adapter for a wrench that fits into a socket. It has an adapter for a 3/8 drive socket on one end, and it has a drive size for the other end. So it allow you to use a wrench or ratchet wrench. On the other side, if you cannot get a regular socket and ratchet or a regular wrench in. Come in handy. Well, an unfortunate change of plans. This sensor is on there so tight, I'm gonna end up wrecking it to get it off. So rather than breaking 2 sensors, I'm simply going to deal with the one on the one I'm trying to sell. Reinstall this one, made sure everything started and worked right. I don't want to damage 2 cars to try and save one. This isn't what I wanted to happen, but it did. So I'm going to have to buy a replacement part. Now I have the phone trying to still get this off. Well, I got the switch off. I have to get the freaking housing piece off the shaft that goes through the transmission. This is going to be fun. Really, this has not gone all that smoothly, as evidenced by the pile of aluminum shavings. I have drilled it out as best I can. I've hit it with a slide hammer and it doesn't want to come off, so plan C. Oh my goddamn, took forever, but it's off. And there is basically nothing left of it to get it to the point where it would come off the frickin' shaft. Well, it's clean. I don't see any damage to the seal into the transmission. And now I can finally order the replacement switch because I've actually gotten it off. You're gonna need a 12 or 13 millimeter socket, some way to actually work it, 7/8 for the switch, the nut on the switch, pry bar, and a flat bladed screwdriver, large, or another pry bar to actually gently pull it off. Now, if you do live in a land of rust, well, you're going to need a few more things. So initially I used the vice grips and the slide hammer to try to bite onto this and slide it off of the shaft through the transmission. It didn't work so well. So then I started with the long 1/8 drill bit. I did that simply because I was trying to drill enough of the meat off of the housing that it would actually free itself up. Worked a little better, but not enough. And my old Dremel, which was a Harbor Freight one, actually that burned up on my doing my Comanche, so I ended up getting this one, pardon the mess, off of Amazon, and it came with the flexible shaft, which allowed me to get up around the sensor and the shaft and actually chip away at it. I initially started cutting it back with the wheel and then finish it by chipping away at it and breaking off enough of the one piece that it was finally able to slide off. The hammer and the pry bars were just able to help me wiggle it once it started moving. Rust is fun. So we're taking a quick break from refinishing the wheels because I finally got the neutral safety switch in. I'm not sure how it says there's a headlight switch, but it is the correct switch, or at least it appears to be. We're going to clean up the 12mm bolt that goes into the slot. Get it in the green Cherokee. Get it cleaned up. And hopefully this thing is going away tomorrow. So that's what's left of the old piece. This face is this face. And it crushes this area down with this nut. These are the teeth that go around the nut once you have it in place. And that's what it looks like from behind. This is what it looks like from behind. You can see just how welded on it was. Cleaned up the threads for the retaining bolt that goes in the slot. I'm going to put a very light coat of anti-seize on the shaft that goes through here to hopefully make it so that if someone else has to do this in the future, they don't run into what I just did. Our neutral safety switch connector's right here. I'm going to press this, release it. I've already done it. I did a pin count to make sure. I'm going to try and release that zip tie. It might be a cut stone, I'm not sure. Some of them are removable. Zip tie right here. Might be kind of hard to see way up there, but there's what's supposed to be a releasable zip tie. I can't get it to release, so I'm gonna have to clip it and put another one up there. I couldn't get the releasable zip tie to release because apparently it was broken the minute I got any kind of pressure on it. It just snapped. It's probably going to be quite hard to see it. There is a zip tie and where the tip of the screwdriver is. And you probably there you see the screwdriver. I'm going to try to release that and get the cable out. Start feeding the new sensor down. Everything looks clean inside there from the terminals. Up if I put the connector on the right side. Okay, that's tight. Again, I'll zip tie everything up once I get it back in there and tight and in place. Okay, so we got it in place and I've got the bolt started, but I've got to slide it back onto. I got to slide this back onto the shaft, so I'm gonna try to push it back and forth gently and push it back. If not, I'm gonna have to gently use pry bars. And unfortunately, I can't show you much of this. Well, bolt is tight. The little locking retainers are on. It starts. I'm gonna put the zip tie on the top and make sure it works through all the gears. Okay, well, proof's in the pudding. It's in park. And it starts. That's awesome. play with the handle, see, make sure it works in all the positions, but this is big. I'm very happy. This is the back of the neutral safety switch. This little booger would have gone through the back here and out to the front if it wasn't broken. The trick is to remove these screws, pull this off, and clean up the back. I will still do that, but this thing was in such bad shape I don't think it would have saved it, but I'll take it apart. There's lots and lots of videos online. Bleeping Jeep and quite a bit of other content creators have pretty thorough ways to do this if your switch is in a pile of junk like mine was. I was attempting to take this back cover off to show you the neutral safety switch and sides, but everything keeps breaking and the screw heads don't want to come off, even with an impact tool. And what I'll likely do is just crack this off so you can see it. But yeah, this wouldn't have been repairable. The idea is you can clean up these contacts. The contacts on this piece that actually goes on the selector. Get it all cleaned up, gently clean the brass pieces off, and then coat it with that electric grease and put it back together. There's also a drain tube that you likely can't see that can also become clogged up. So there's, like I said, there's a ton of videos online showing you how to fix these. I would definitely go after them before you went to try to do this. And if yours is in this kind of shape, you'll be buying a part. Confirms my belief that automatic transmissions are the devil.